Welcome to Mike and Jytte.
Today we're going to talk about the kind of communication that we call direct and indirect communication. A very simple example is if I go to the kitchen and you're making yourself a sandwich and I would kind of like some bread too. I would say, that would be my preference, I would say, that bread really looks delicious.
And my reaction to that, of course, would be, yes, it does. And then I'd keep cutting the bread.
And if you wanted some bread, what would you say?
I would say, that looks really good. May I have a piece?
Yeah. So that's a more direct way. So another example is if I say to you, it's been very long since we've been to the movies.
And I would say, yes, it has.
And I would have expected you to know that I might want to go to the movies, or I want to talk about going to the movies. And if you don't react to it, that's kind of weird.
These examples are really simple. However, the reactions are a bit more complex because she states a fact. It's been a long time since they've been to the movie. Well, underlying that fact is a request. I don't pick up the request. All I hear is a fact, and I respond to the fact. And then is the first issue, we begin to get our tensions there. So all I do, take this statement as face value and say, yes, it's been a long time.
Mm. And it really is a preference, and it's oftentimes that women have this preference for the indirect, and men have the preference for the direct.
Yeah.
You have another example that I know that you get a bit irritated. Luckily, we can laugh about this here, but I know you get a bit tense when I ask my question.
Well, an example of this indirect would be, for example, Jytte would ask me, are you going shopping today?
Now, I don't really want to know if you're going shopping.
If I'm going to go shopping, I'm going to say, yes, I am. If I'm not, I'm going to say no. However, when you go into the field of indirect direct, underlying this, are you going shopping today, I smell a request. And the fact it's not there irritates me.
And I'm just trying to be considerate. Because if you're not going shopping, I would not ask you to buy something for you. Then I can go and buy my shampoo myself. But it's my intention is to be very considerate.
Yeah, right. I think to being very considerate to a man is asking him for what you want.
Yes.
Right. Directly. And a lot of this has to be guesswork. It puts me in the position of having to read somebody's mind. Is there something underneath that? Is it a request? Is it this? And sometimes it can be even reinterpreted as a reprimand. But we'll come to that a bit later.
So if you don't react, then I feel a bit irritated. Why don't you pick this up? Another example is if I say, some of our friends are going to Greece this summer. You would hear, oh.
They're going to Greece.
They're going to Greece.
Good for them.
And I would get a bit hurt, or why don't you pick this up? Don't you want to talk about our vacation, or don't you want to go to the movie with me? So for my side, I might be a bit hurt, I might be irritated.
I get a bit confused because I have no idea she wants to talk about what we're going to do. The fact that a lot of our friends are going to go to Greece it just says yes. If you want to talk about it, then it's a good idea to let me know what you want to talk about. And I'd be happy to talk about it. So we started to come in the area of what are some of the consequences of these tensions? And I think they're a bit different for men and women. I think Jytte has a couple of consequences that you react to. So.
Yeah, that's being a bit hurt or being irritated or...
Yeah. I think men tend to be a bit irritated, a bit confused. And sometimes, depending on how the indirect is formulated, they can even feel they're being reprimanded, or sometimes even feel guilty because they missed the thing. You get conflicts and tensions that are really unnecessary in any kind of relationship, business or private.
And the interesting thing is that we all have preferences, and my preference is absolutely in the more indirect way of communicating. And even though I know that it would be better to communicate with you more directly, I really have to think about it, because if I don't think, I'll go to the indirect communication style.
Yeah, I like the more direct communication, but I think that we'll be coming in also a little bit later, saying that the preference, we have to learn how to control the preference and not let the preference control us. And because each of these forms, each of these styles there are situations in which one is appropriate and the other is inappropriate. So we can learn how to use these different styles effectively. I know that we're generalizing man, woman, direct, indirect, and that some people use both, but these things are pretty accurate in terms of generalizations. We know there are exceptions to this. I think we should sort of round off today with that.
I think so too.
And say thank you for that, and we hope you come back again.
Thank you.